What's up, everybody? It's Dan from NV Auto here, and today I'm going to show you how to quickly test the battery and replace a battery on a Subaru. It is pretty much the same on every other vehicle, so we're just going to go through, taking the battery out of the car and putting a new battery in, and some tricks about testing the battery without an expensive AVR tester. So here we have a Subaru STI, and it came in for a no start. So we're suspecting that it's a dead battery, but we're gonna just test the battery and the charging system first before we condemn the battery. As you can see, the battery's pretty old and it looks like it's been in the car for a pretty long time. So we're gonna see if this car starts. That's the first way to confirm that the battery's no good. So we're gonna go try to start the car. Nothing. So as you can see, the car doesn't start. So next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna test it with a battery tester. So to test the life of the battery, we're actually gonna use a digital battery tester. And as you can see here, on this battery, the code cranking amps is 550 amps. So what we do is we take the battery tester and we hook it up. Red goes to red, which is the positive, and black goes to negative. Unfortunately, this battery is so dead, it won't even register any voltage at all. So usually if there is some kind of voltage, you'll dial in the cranking amps and you'll hit the test button and it'll let you know if it passes or fails. This one, as you can see, because there's nothing in it, it's failed. So next step to confirm if the battery is no good or the charging system is no good is we're going to boost the car and see if the alternator is putting out the proper charges. It's very important because sometimes you have a bad charging system and the system is not charging the battery efficiently. That can kill the battery as well, and that can show a symptom of no start or show a symptom of a bad battery. So we want to confirm before we sell a battery to this car, and let's make sure that it's not a bad alternator causing the battery to fail. So we're going to hook up the booster pack to the battery, red to positive, and black to ground, negative. Just going to place the booster pack here, and we're going to start it up and see what the voltage output is. So as you can see, the car starts with the booster pack. We're going to disconnect the booster pack and put a voltmeter on the battery. So with the voltmeter set on voltage, red to the positive, black to the negative. And you can see that the voltage output is 14.5. Anything above 12.5, 14.3 is a good output. So we know that the alternator is charging, but the battery most likely is not accepting a good charge. So with a deep 10 mil, we're just going to take the nuts off of this battery tie down. Just want to loosen it enough that we could take the battery out of the car. So in this case, because the back battery tie down is stuck pretty deep inside where the wiring is, I'm going to leave that one in place. I'm just going to take the nut off. I'm going to take the nut in the washer and just place it up on the cowl here. Pull the battery tie down out of the way. I'm just going to lift the battery up out of the car. So for the battery replacement, we're going to use the Interstate MTP, and this one is a group size 35, and that's the size we need for this Subaru. So you got to make sure, you got to look up on the battery's website or look up with the OEM service manual to see what battery needs to go in. Realistically, every battery fits in every car, but they don't actually fit perfectly. The battery post sizes are all different. The size of the physical batteries, they're all different as well. And so on this car, we're going to use the Interstate MTP 35. So before we put the battery in, we're going to check to make sure that none of the cables are broken or none of the cables are frayed, or any of the bolts for the fasteners for the actual battery cables are still in good condition. And we also want to take the battery tray out and clean it up, as this one you can see has got a little bit of dirt in it. We're just going to take it, dump it into the garbage can and put it back in place. So with this battery, there is no holder or any strap. So we're going to actually use the battery carrier tool. And we're going to pick it up from here and we're going to put it in the car. Just got to make sure that we're putting it in the right position. So the positive is on the right side of the car and the negative is on the left side. We just want to slowly lower it down into the battery tray. Make sure that it's seated firmly into the bottom of the tray. All right, now that the battery's in place, we're going to put the battery tie down back onto the car. It's very important that you put your tie downs back on. This prevents the battery from jumping up, either hitting the hood or getting damaged by just flopping around in your engine bay. So you just want to snug the battery tie down nuts down. You don't want to go too tight where you're actually going to crush the battery case, but you want it tight enough that the battery doesn't come loose. Just with a little bit of tension, just give it another quarter turn here, Just going to make sure that the battery is secured in the tray onto the car. And now we can start putting in the battery cables. Just going to take this cover off. Now at the positive, make sure it's tight in there. Tighten it up with a 10 mil. Put the cover back on. Now we connect the negative side. Loosen that up just a little bit so I get it snug in the bottom. Nice and firm. Tighten up the 10 mils. And now we're going to go start the car to make sure that the battery starts up fine and the alternator is still charging. So now we're just going to test the battery again and the charging system. Red to positive, black to negative, and you can see that it's charging at 14.3. So the charging system's good and the battery is good. So that's it for this video about checking and replacing a battery. If you like our videos, check out some of our other videos like how to choose the right clutch for your car. Thanks for watching, everybody.